Alright, hello everybody, welcome, and just want to give you a bit of an update on what has been going on. I'm not sure on what I'm going to name this video. Wanted to firstly give a belated Valentine's Day. Thank you to everybody. Just let's spread love and sweetness and whatever Valentine's Day is about. Wanted to also say sorry for vanishing, because I did want to get videos out, but ran into a bit of an issue. Bit of an understatement. I'm beating around a bush. I know. I got into an e-scooter accident and I entered the hospital. My left forearm was fractured, and my two front teeth have been chipped. And now I am stuck in a cast. And I was out of school for the last week. And people usually joke, like, hey, do you ever find it funny that, like, you basically have one good arm and, like, another arm that's not really good for anything? That is a big misnomer, because you actually use both arms for basically everything. And you don't really notice that until one of your arms is, like, not usable. I'm in a cast right now. Why do I need so many screens? I mean, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. Navigating life a bit better since last week. And what I do want to talk about a bit is the fact that something really inspiring happened. So when I was in the hospital, I got called like 3 times by the volunteering organization I volunteer with. They called me 3 times that day. And because usually I come in on that specific day, on the day that I was injured. And as I was stepping out of the hospital, and as I was like more lucid to like from the medication they gave me, I explained the situation, that I was on my e-scooter, and because of the rocky pavement of the road, I was like flung forward. I was flung forward, just went flying, and my 2 front teeth got chipped off. Not completely fallen off, but like one of them got chipped halfway and the other one got chipped partially. And my left forearm got just busted. I don't want to be gruesome with that. I'm a changed man. I'm a little more gentle now, I'd like to think. But still, it was a very, very horrifying sight in my memory. Memory has a way of doing that sometimes. And they were like very understanding about what happened, and wished me the best of luck, and asked me if I needed anything, and I said, moral support. Later that night, I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and I found on the living room table a bag. I opened it, and there was candy, and it was chocolate, and what are they called? Peanut brittle, yeah. And a card. The card had the design of Final Fantasy Rebirth, with a message saying, get well soon. I opened it up. I was wondering who it was from. Who knew that I loved Final Fantasy? Who made this for me in such quick time? It was a volunteering organization. And the people who were present that day, they all signed their names, and they all left messages of encouragement, and wow, it made my day. It just made my day. I didn't mention Final Fantasy VII a crazy amount of times, and they did their homework. They quoted, one of the quotes that they put was, you don't need a good reason to help people, from Zidane of Final Fantasy IX. It made my day. And I've actually never picked up 9 properly. Like, I know the stories of each of the Final Fantasies, haven't played all of them personally, but Zidane sticks out to me. He's really cool. If Sora and Zidane met, then, like, I think they would get really well along. I remember when I fell, the moment that it happened, the experience was raw. Was unfiltered, as my friend said when he was sharing about this. I'll remember being on the pavement, and among so many other things that I said, I shouted out, "God have mercy on me." Keep in mind, this was in a neighborhood by a busy street. And of course my dad is playing something in the other room. Wow, it's a very emotional moment. And this was a neighborhood next to a very crowded street. Maybe not crowded, but like very bustling. And later I got medicated, obviously. I had to be under heavy medication because, obviously, to numb the pain, I was told beforehand that things were about to get loopy. I remember being sunken. Remember almost being, like, sunken into the bed and arriving into what can be described as an underworld of some kind. Almost like a dark ride. I was going through a bunch of scenery and a lot of statues. Eventually, I made my way into a library with many shelves and many books. I was told to find among these pages, to find among these books, to find God. And I looked, and I looked, and at some point I even entered into a Weezer Buddy Holly music video, which I heard was partially maybe because I was singing it a lot during this time period, so maybe that explains why that was happening. But anyways, I looked, but I couldn't find it. But I realize now that that's because my God is infinite. I can't find him by human reason. God is infinite. And it was by mercy that I'm able to understand him through this book right here. Hold up. It's a little tough with one arm, but here, this book. And going to Matthew 5. And the Sermon on the Mount. That was God speaking to us. And even before that, remembered, making a bit of an understatement, no, the whole incarnation, that was mercy. And obviously, I don't mention religion a lot in this channel. Obviously, I'm playing Honkai Star Rail. I think it's a little out of place to really mention the very real name of Christ. But I'm sharing something that I enjoy. And I want to leave it up to you guys if that's something you want to personally look into, if that's a worldview you personally want to adopt. I don't want to force anything upon anybody. I just think it's still within my right to share what I want to share. And throughout the whole experience, after I was over the whole, like, whatever that experience was, I was a little more conscious. I remembered, oh right, I'm in a hospital room. Right. This is why that whole thing happened. I was still proclaiming the name of Jesus the entire time. And You don't need a good reason to help people. That has a lot of meanings in what has happened in the last week. Remember for, I think it was like the day before Valentine's Day, my lisp, came over and we went to Barnes and Noble. And even her fiance gave me the best movie ever, The Click. The best, yeah, again, best movie ever. I'm crying. Like, yeah, you don't need a good reason to help people. And I want to go back there. I want to go back to Sunday service. Because, like, honestly, this whole experience, sorry if I'm rambling for a long time, but it's just, it opened my eyes. Like, when I was, like, sinking down into, like, the abyss, into everything around me was just darkness, I was thinking to myself, oh no, is my time gone? Am I dying? What is God gonna think about what I've done over my life? What have I done with my life? I didn't accomplish anything that I wanted to. So I'm not sitting here with lack of meaning. I don't believe I have lack of meaning. I think that was actually proof that there is meaning. That there is worth. That there's something to strive for. I want to give my all into all that I'm passionate about. And of course, I do need to do the things along the way, like college, of course. That was something that I agreed upon with my dad, is that he'll support me in whatever I'm doing, so long as I complete my education, because that's what my mom would have wanted for me. But I want to give my all into what I want to do. YouTube, firstly, into my walk with God, into the story that I want to make. I want to be able to look back on my life and say with great confidence, I lived a good one. I lived one that was worthy of being a Final Fantasy.